We're going to begin with a little experiment. So I'm going to stomp my foot 2 times, after which, please answer me back, 1 clap. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. Got it. Okay, so shoulders back, get yourself ready. Our goal, we want to sound like 1 person clapping every time. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay. We're going to do it again. Only this time, every time you clap, I want you to choose a different way to do it, on you, around you, on the table. Don't forget to double high five the people around you as well. Okay? Here we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, just observe the difference between the first time and the second time. The first time sounded amazing. There is so much power in unity. Your faces, however, looked a little like that. Whereas the second time, we kept that sense of unity, but we added in freedom of choice and individuality. Then your faces looked like this. Right? I became really fascinated with combining these 2 opposite truths about human beings, our unity and our individuality. Because we often separate them. It's either about our togetherness or about our differences. And look at the magic we create when we combine them. So I'd love to share with you what I learned from facilitating dance parties with thousands of children that has led me to believe that this combination of these 2 things is a really key component to what creates a positive community. So in 2010, I began facilitating these dance experiences in public elementary and high schools. And I've had the privilege of having a massive sample size. So thousands of kids, all different ages, all different demographics, all parts of Ontario, Canada, and sometimes beyond. And there was one trend that really caught my attention. Because I felt like I was gaining some insight into where in our human childhood development we actually start to go off course when it comes to creating a positive community. And when is that moment? Grade 5. Yes. So what happens around 10, 11 years old? Okay, so we're going to park that age for a moment. Let me share with you what these dance experiences would look like and feel like kindergarten to around grade 4. Because let me tell you, they are off the hook. The kids are they're just having an absolute blast. And it's not a free-for-all, so just like we did in the beginning with the clap, we join them on a movement and then encourage them to freely and independently move around the space. And this idea of unity and individuality, it just comes really naturally to the little ones. Because they all do the same thing, but one kid's going that way, one kid's going that way, one's going backwards, one's going sideways, one's making a circle, and there's just this natural positivity in the room. Now grade 5 hits, and it's a little bit of a different dynamic now. So now, we join them together on a move, we ask them to move around the space, and the instinct is now to clump together and move in these cliques and packs and follow each other around the room. And this makes perfect sense. This is when this sense of belonging kicks in. This is a very deeply ingrained survival instinct that never really goes away. I think we can all relate to times in our lives when we have the need to belong or make our decisions based on what we think other people might think. But it's heartbreaking because we see these kids just start to lose their individuality. You know, because when one kid in the group goes that way, whole group goes that way. One kid makes a circle, they all make a circle. One kid starts to floss, and now they all start to floss. And you know what's interesting though is I say grade 5 it's still a pretty good marker of when this starts to happen, but what is kind of concerning is in the last couple of years, this is starting to creep in around grade 3, grade 4 a little bit. And now when we once had this unity and individuality, now we have segregation and sameness. Now we have this us versus themness. And the irony is that when all we want is to belong, that's when we create this separation. So when we would see this dynamic start to happen, we'd sit them down and we'd have a conversation. And what started to come up was that belonging doesn't necessarily mean the same. And we are all individuals, part of one group. And as long as we respect that oneness, we respect that cooperation, we are free and encouraged to be our own individual creative selves. And now, when we get back and do it again, magic. The positivity of the grade 1 dance party would return. So I thought to myself, wow, what an amazing visual and experiential metaphor to what creates a positive community. And how in my own life can I combine these two things in ways that I contribute to and I belong to communities? You know, within our schools and in our workplaces, where we can be united on the same mission or the same vision or purpose, yet encourage differences of opinion or multiple ways of achieving results. Or within our families, imagine we're united by love, yet support and respect each other's different life paths and decisions. And imagine within ourselves, united on this one human team, we release ourselves of the judgment in our minds of our own and each other's differences, because it is clearly all that individuality that makes up the unified whole. And if we can do that, I think the world might feel more like a grade 1 dance party.